Hey YouTube, so I unfortunately saw the new leak for the Avengers Doomsday trailer and it's looking good. It's looking good. Now, I recently made a video about Doctor Doom. My main issue with all of this is Doctor Doom. Now, this is the Doctor Doom I grew up with, the one in the Fantastic Four animated series, Spider-Man animated series, and any other video game adaptations that we've seen of him too. And I'm not convinced that you need all of these people to stop Doctor Doom. I've seen Doctor Doom packed up with less. I've seen him packed up with less in the time that I've seen him. And I'm gonna have to admit that I was wrong. So I've been doing some research on Doctor Doom, and now this basically capitalizes everything about him. Genius level intellect. If you know anything about Doctor Doom, you already know this, but he basically rivals Tony Stark, Iron Man, and Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, in their intellect. Magic mastery. So that one I kind of forgot about that a little bit. But he's trained with monks and sorcerers, and he wields magic that's almost in some cases from the research that I'm doing is even stronger than Doctor Strange. And the armor one, the powered armor, that one actually stuck out to me. Is that basically he built up all these mechanisms in his armor so that way he doesn't even have to weave a hand sign or anything. It sounds like Naruto, but he doesn't even have to do anything to do magic like Doctor Strange or any other person that you've seen in the Marvel universe does. And then he got some political power, which basically he rules over an entire country and he has an army and stuff like that. So I came to the conclusion that this is the ultimate prep time. So he's Batman with powers, right? But better than that. Now, my thing is that as I stated in my video, was that if Doctor Doom was this great, then why in every iteration that we've seen of him has he not been that guy? And I did some more research and I figured out why. So the main reason was because Disney didn't have the rights. So when Fox owned them, you just couldn't have the same creativity. And when they eventually started the Marvel universe, since they didn't have the rights to him, they couldn't even add him into the universe. But now that they have the rights to everything, which they've had for a while, they can actually fit all of this in a universe that actually makes sense. But I noticed one thing because I was doing more research about exactly what he's done in the comics, and I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not reading all of this. I'm not. So that even pushes home more the point that I am definitely a casual. But at the same time, I grew up with this stuff. So I love seeing when these things are adopted or not adopted, but adapted onto the big screen. And I think that's another reason why I love things like Spider-Man growing up and all of that. But the thing is with Doctor Doom and him coming back into the Avengers Doomsday is that I think I understand exactly what Marvel is trying to do. So I already said in my last videos that the X-Men is what got me hyped for watching this. And then they have these side characters for other stories that they try to build up. Maybe it didn't get that much traction as they wanted to. And then on top of that, they're bringing back basically those from the 2010s, right, with the regular Avengers and everything. So it looks like that they're trying to pull every base in, not only comic enjoyers but casuals and everything like that all into one, and they're really trying to make this a hitter. But the thing is that with Doctor Doom is that this right here is a lot of lore, and that's something that you have to basically establish and get people hooked on in a 2 hour movie. So and that's tough, especially for if I didn't even decide to do the research or anything like this, I would have never understood how great of a villain he is. And I think that that's the main reason why Marvel is going with him, because when you actually look at the data and see everything that he's done, this is one of the greatest and actually convoluted villains. Like he has a lot of lore to him. He's not necessarily a simple character. It's not like big bad guy. So like when we, or at least when I saw him when I was younger, like he was just basically, big bad businessman in a metal suit, right? They never touched on anything like this. So it is great when they do adapt all of these characters into live action. And I think another thing with it too is because I was really thinking about it. I was like, if this dude was so great, why didn't we see him so much back then? And as great as he is, he wasn't a character that would have drew people into a show. Because when it comes to like these businesses, they got to make money. So when you think of Marvel, like you have like you would like back then you would think X-Men, Hulk, Spider-Man. Like that, it was just kind of those three people that were kind of like the pillars of everything. So I understand how great he was in the comics, but this wasn't like necessarily something that you could have drew people in with. And with a character like this that has so much lore to him, like you have to build something like that up to even get people to like him like that. Whereas it's different with someone like a Spider-Man or Wolverine or anything like that, where you can just kind of see the character maybe once or twice and you just kind of get hooked on it. But to keep it real with you, even Iron Man and Thor, like these, like while these are great characters, like they weren't like that big back then. Like no one was talking about Iron Man until Robert Downey Jr. Let's be real. So not only did they not have the rights, but then on top of that, you had maybe 30-minute slots or something like that, or you probably only, because you there really weren't no movies or anything like this when you was growing up. So you had like the 30-minute slots, and he's basically like the Green Goblin to Spider-Man's, Peter Parker or something like that, or the Joker to, Batman or anything like that. He's what that is to Reed Richardson and the Fantastic Four. So another thing that I've noticed is that they're not even touching on that in the trailers. So and like so this really should be the big thing, but I guess like they got to order for him with this a little bit. So they got to have him going up against Thor and everything like that because like if you're gonna say that this is a big person just as big as Thanos, then you really gotta build that up. And that's really all I got to say about that. And I don't think that they've done a good job with that, but I will also say that there's a theory going around that the way that Marvel is kind of marketing this is to basically that they're even doing the leaks like for all these movies or not the movies but like what's going on with the movie, the scenes and all of that stuff. And I think that that's something that's smart that they probably are doing in this age to kind of get people all riled up for this movie because they got everybody talking about it. They got everybody talking about it. But I think they still got to earn it at the end of the day, if that makes sense. They still have to earn it, and I think comic enjoyers understand like why Doctor Doom is so great, but now Marvel has to prove to everybody why he's so great. So let me know what you think. Are you going to see this movie? Do you even care? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe. See you on the next one.